And I think that's good. I think another thing we're focusing on is the Eagle Manager Program. I mean, look at all the Eagle Managers we have. CG, Erwin, how many Eagle Managers do we have? 154. I definitely think there's a focus on Eagle Manager here. In fact, that may be one of the highest Eagle Manager qualifiers this year. I'm not sure it's the highest, but you're definitely up in the top 5 for sure. Isn't that exciting? I think that's helping to grow the business, don't you? And a lot of that focuses on recruitment, non-manager cases, right? Getting new people going, teaching them what they need to do to be successful. So I definitely think that is. What about, where's Erwin again? How many chairman bonus qualifiers did we have last year? 93? Did I hear that right? 93? I think that's helping also, don't you? I mean, it's helping your pocketbook, right? It's putting some more money in there. I definitely think that's moving forward. So you guys really have taken advantage of the incentive programs of Forever. And you've used them to the maximum, I think, in order to move your business forward, and it's working. So let me ask you a question. What do you think could slow down your business? What's going to slow down the momentum? Do you want it to slow down? We don't either. We want it to keep going. So what would slow down your business? What do you think? Sorry? Huh? Doing the opposite. What does that mean? What does it mean? Speak up. Come on. So not focusing on the incentives, right? Not qualifying for Eagle Manager, not qualifying for Chairman's Bonus, not focusing on 5cc, right? Not going out and sponsoring and not qualifying for the ambassador levels. That's going to slow us down, right? So yeah, doing the opposite. If we don't do what we have been focusing on. Now, you may say, that sounds obvious, Greg. We're not stupid. We understand that. But let me explain to you, it's really easy to take your eye off the ball and to get comfortable. You remember that comfort zone you were in before Forever? And did you like your lifestyle before Forever? Okay? So don't go back to the comfort zone. I guess that's really my message today, is focus on what is making your business be successful and keep that focus. Keep sharp. Make sure you understand what it is that you're doing to allow success, and don't stop, you know? And I guess the other message I'd give you is to have balance. Some of us, we got really excited when we got started, and we went out and tried to recruit the world, right? We're lighting it on fire. We're talking to everyone. We're go, 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 which is great. But you have to ask yourself, how long can I sustain that? How long can I keep going, 18, 20 hours a day out recruiting? There's 3 other areas to the business, right? What's our 4 core? What is it? Recruitment, retention, productivity, development. So we need to have a balance between those 4 pillars of our business. Not just to recruit, but we also need to focus on the other 3 areas. Because what we find, and in fact the countries we've been in so far, we can look at the numbers and we can see some countries are really good in recruitment, but they're not so good in retention. So what does that mean to your business? You're going to get lots of new people coming in, but then lots of people going out, right? They're not staying. So the trick with that becomes, can I get more new people coming in than that are going out, right? Because if I do that, then I can sustain and continue to build. But there's probably going to be a point where I'm going to get less people coming in and there's still people going out. And then my sales are going to go flat and maybe even start to go down. Do you see how that works? So we need to have a balance, and we need to say, wait a minute, these new people coming in, am I following the proper steps to show them what they need to do? Am I spending the time? Am I doing the follow-up with them? You know, how many times do we share a product or we recruit someone and then we're so excited to go find someone else, we kind of leave them behind, don't we? And we forget about them. And we can see that from the numbers. So we're really good at recruitment here, but we could do some improvement in retention. So we need to kind of get a balance in that. And I want you guys to start thinking about, what can I do to improve my retention? Now, part of that can be the 5cc, right? Part of that can be, let's increase the consumption of not only us, but our downlines. And some of the ways we can do that is, number one, with ourselves. So I want you guys to think about, envision yourself in your house right now. What products do you have in your house? I hope you have the Forever products. You know, but it's really easy to say, oh, instead of using the soap, I'm going to use the soap from the grocery store, or the toothpaste, you know, or the shampoo or whatever. And we don't really use the Forever products like we should be using. So think about that. In fact, Aidan brought this up today at lunch. Long time ago, back in England, he created 0cc sticker. You know, a little sticker that said 0cc. And they would go into houses of business owners and they would see the soap from the store and they'd put a 0cc sticker on it. Or on the toothpaste, or on the shampoo, right? Because they get no CC with that, right? So as a business owner, we need to be using the products. And if we can do that ourselves, then when our downline come over and they go to the bathroom to wash their hands, guess what? They see aloe soap there, right? And they say, oh, they're really using the products, okay? So let's make sure we're all using, and we talked about at the global rally 2x, right? Double our sales, double our efforts, double our consumption also, right? If we can double our consumption just here in this room, think about how that affects your sales. So let's become users of the product. Let's make sure we believe in them. And the only way you do that is by increasing your consumption of them. So that's a good way to increase your retention, right? So what are some other ways we can do that? Give me some ideas. How can we increase our retention? Come on, I gave you one idea. I'm not going to give you them all. That's going to cost you. What do you think? Who talked? Training? Training on what? I'm not sure who said that. Training. Training on product, right? Doing some presentations and trainings on why you should be taking these products, what are the benefits of them, right? Making sure people understand. Very good. What else can we be doing? Do we have product trainings here? How often? Every week? Once a week? Twice? Maybe we can double our trainings. 2x, right? Okay, well, I want you guys to think about and talk as a group what you can do to increase your retention. I think that's very important. You know, I was talking about England before, and England shot up kind of like what you guys have done, very quickly, very fast. Lots and lots of new people joining the business. And I have to say, they got a little too much focused on recruitment. And they didn't do a very good job on retention and following up and doing the proper training. So not just because of that, but a great deal of that led to a decline in sales. Now they didn't go to zero. You know, they're still doing way more than they were doing before the start of the growth. But I bet if they could go back, I bet they would spend a lot more time on retention. So it doesn't mean we forget about recruitment, but it definitely means we need to be looking at all these new people coming in, all these people I'm inviting. Am I doing the proper follow-up with them? Am I spending the time necessary to make sure they understand what they need to do? So make sure you guys put a little bit of focus on that. And then another number we've noticed here is productivity. What is productivity? How do we define that in Forever? Do you know? If you know 4-Core, you should know this. So productivity, we look at how much is each of your business owners purchasing each month. So maybe it might be $150, $120, $200, right? That they're buying of product each month. That's how we measure productivity. So it's either the purchases are increasing or decreasing, right? And that's how we look at it. Well, unfortunately, we've looked at your guys's, and your number's really low compared to other countries in productivity. That's got us a little worried. That means that each person's buying less than maybe we would like them to be buying. Does that make sense? So again, it goes back to increasing the consumption of the products. That we need to be thinking about how can we promote within our group to increase the consumption of the product. So that average order value is going up. Okay? That's important for your business. That's important for the longevity of your business. Because we're not in business just to build something today, right? What are we in business for? Forever, right? This is something you guys want to build and be able to pass on to your future generations, right? We want this business to be forever, so we want to use good strategy, good principles, teach people how they can build this business so it lasts, not just for today. So that's very important. So look at your 4-Core, and the last one's development, which means, are we achieving the incentives? I think you guys are doing a really good job at that, obviously. So we need to keep our eye on that and continue to promote the incentives that we have. And for me, one of the greatest incentives I think Forever's ever implemented in the whole system is Eagle Manager. I really do. It's changed not only the business here in Malaysia, but around the world. And it's really given people focus on what's important. Before, it seemed like a lot of people tried to build to a pen level. I'm going to get to sapphire or diamond or whatever pen level. And they just started manager. And before long, they had maybe 25 managers, but only a couple of the managers really were working, and all the other ones did nothing. Well, even though we got a diamond pen, that doesn't earn us any money, does it? We don't pay on recruitment, right? What do we pay on? Product sales. When people buy product, that's when we get paid. So that's what we got to be focused on. And so that's really what I like about Eagle Manager, is it puts the focus back on building people, building businesses, building product sales, because we got to have the non-manager cases, right? So that's important. We got to have new people joining. We got to be teaching them what to do. So let's make sure we focus teaching our people the correct principles, keeping our eye on the ball, on 4 core, making sure we have the proper balance. If we do that, then we're going to continue to see sales go up. It doesn't need to be a tall mountain right away. We can build it layer by layer by layer, right? Because what we want is that you continue this trend forever and that your business continues to grow. Now, are you always going to have good days? Do you always have a good day? No, right? Life is up and down, right? We have our hills and valleys. So some days we're going to find people that tell us no, right? Do you like that word now? Do you like the word no? Do you like the word no? Yes or no? No can be a good word. Do you realize that? For me, no's okay. I don't feel bad anymore about no. Because when I hear someone say no, what does that mean? Next, right? I'm getting closer to the person who's going to say yes, right? So don't worry about the word no. And make sure we teach our new people. Don't feel bad about it. Change your mentality and understand that that means we're getting closer to that person that's going to say yes, and that's going to be committed, and that's going to want to work with us. And that makes you get excited about, oh, please say no, because that means this guy's going to say yes, right? And when you have that kind of attitude, do you know what happens? Yeah, we need to turn the volume down or something. You know what happens when you get excited about that? People are attracted to you then. You understand that? Instead of you going out and, come on, join, come on, come with me. And if you change your mentality and say, it's okay for you to say no, because I know this guy's over here is going to say yes, right? Guess what? People start to say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't mean no. Wait, come back. I want to talk to you. Don't you want that? Wouldn't you love someone who said no to say, wait, come back here. Tell me more about that, right? So when you change your mentality and the way you present things, and you don't look desperate. Have you ever felt desperate? Oh, I need someone to say yes and come join my business. That's kind of when we start pushing people away. So let's attract people to us. Let's be the magnet and they come to us. And when we're happy and when we're smiling and when we're showing people that we love what we're doing and we believe in it and we're pushing forward and we're making success, then we attract people to us. People want to be with us. And when we're positive, and even though it's raining outside, we're the sunshine and we're glowing, people want to be next to us, right? So if we have the right mentality, and even though when we get those bad days, we need to remember our motivation, right? Our why. Why are we working? And one of the biggest faults I find, just because we're all human, is it's just like before you join Forever, we get into that comfort zone. And even in Forever, many business owners get back into a comfort zone. So years go by and they achieve some great things and they get a new car and they get a new house and they travel to really cool places, and then they think they've achieved everything in life. I've done it all. And they just kind of sit back and put their legs up and get back into that comfort zone. What do you think is going to happen to your business if you do that? Is your business going to continue forward and grow and be big? And no. Okay? You're the leader. Okay? And Forever's not here as a company to build your business. I know you guys know that. You're there to build the business, right? We're there to support you. We're there to give you great products. We're there to pay you your bonuses, to buy your airplane tickets to fly somewhere and book your hotels for you. That's what we do. But your job, your responsibility is to go out and build your business and keep it going and be that leader and show your people and be an example. This business is so built on example. And what I do as a leader is what my people are going to do. So if I'm excited and I'm positive and I'm out sponsoring and I'm out focusing on 4Core, guess what my people are going to do? The same thing. But the opposite happens too. If I become negative, if I become a little bit lazy, put my legs up, decide I don't need to sponsor anymore, I don't need to go to the training anymore, guess what my people are going to do? It happens that way, and it happens fast. I see it all the time. So don't fall in that trap. Keep yourself sharp. Keep yourself focused. Keep yourself on edge. That I don't want to lose this, you know. You've worked very hard to build what you have right now. Don't lose it. Don't let it go to the wayside. You got to keep focused on it, and you got to keep going. I always say, you have Coca-Cola here, right? Is it a big company? Is it successful? Has it been in business for years and years and years? Maybe 100 years. I don't know how many years it's been in business. But think about Coca-Cola. If any company out there could fall into the comfort zone, it could be them. Right? They could say, oh, we're everywhere in the world. We have great sales. We don't need to bring any new customers anymore. We can just kick back, relax. But what's probably the most commercialized product in the world today? It's Coca-Cola. If you watch TV at all, there's a Coke commercial coming on for sure. If you drive down the highway, there's probably a Coke billboard somewhere you're going to see, right? Is that true? So why do they do that? If they have so much success, why are they advertising for new customers all the time? Do you see what I'm saying? If they do it, how much more should we be doing it in our business, right? So sometimes you fall into the trap as a business owner of, oh, I've been doing this for years now, and I don't need to sponsor anymore. I got lots of people in my downline, and all I'm going to do is manage my people. I'm going to manage my people. And they stop sponsoring. And what do you think happens to their business? It slowly dies. It slowly slows down. The momentum starts to go down. And then they wonder, why is my check going down? And then they start, well, it's because we don't have this product here. And it's because the economy's terrible. And it's because Forever doesn't take me on a trip anymore. And blah, 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 blah. Right? All the excuses they throw out. But in reality, they didn't do what Coca-Cola does. And that is always looking for new customers. And that's our primary responsibility as a business owner. We got to have new customers coming in, always. So don't forget that. Now, it's easy to say that, but to get motivated to continue to do that is difficult sometimes, right? Because you get tired. Does anyone get tired in here? Who gets tired? You all are liars. Everybody gets tired. Right? So I was going to say, take more product if you get tired. Okay? Get some bee pollen, right? Drink some more gel. Get some more product in you. But, have a good balance. You got to have fun at what you're doing. And when it becomes not fun, that's when you're going to fall into that comfort zone and start doing less, right? So how do you keep yourself motivated? What do you think? Hit your head? Give yourself a black eye. Come on, get going. I think she wakes up every morning. Come on, let's go. How do we get motivated? People? Books? Okay, that's good. Get some good books that can give you some new ideas and some motivation. That's really good. You know, we need to feed our mind with positive things, right? I mean, if we watch the news and read the newspaper and we hear our neighbors blah, blah, blah about this and that, it gets pretty negative in here, huh? And if that's all, I mean, no matter what, you're going to hear that, right? You can't get away from it. But if that's all we're hearing, that's going to drag you down. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, the world stinks today, right? So we need to be feeding our mind with positive things, and that's great. Books and audio tapes and things that uplift us and help us remain positive. That's really, really important. What else can we do? From this side of the room. I'm hearing everything from this side. What's going on? Are you guys sleeping over here? Engagement in what? Just being involved? Yeah, absolutely. When you come to a meeting like this and you're around positive people, like-minded people, that inspires you, right? And you hear inspiring stories from people that can uplift you and motivate you. That's good. So keep being involved. Make sure you're coming and listening and being involved in the meetings. What else can we do? Growing new groups. Huh? Goals. Setting new goals. Yeah, that's super important. So when we join Forever, we're excited, right? Really excited. Why? Why are we really excited when we first joined Do you guys remember when you joined? How many joined less than a year ago? Nobody. Okay, how about 2 years ago? Okay, so you're the newbies in Forever in this room. Remember back when you joined. Why were you so excited? What do you think? Why were you so excited, sir?
For my income.
To raise your income and the things you could do with that, right? Provide for your family better, right? And that was exciting to you. So the problem is we get super excited and then we get to this point where we've achieved that goal. Good. It feels good, right? Good accomplishment. We're providing our family. We're making better income. And then what happens? What should happen? We should set some new goals, right? But what happens a lot of times is we don't. We feel like we've arrived. We've made it. Have you ever thought about your business and your income is fixed? Some people do. Some people think, oh, I made $10,000 last month. That means I'm going to make $10,000 for the rest of my life with Forever. And they get into that mentality. Is that a healthy thing? No, right? Because it's not an employment here, right? It's not fixed on you're going to get this X amount for the rest of your life. So we have to be aware that this is a growth business, right? So we need to set new goals in order to motivate us. When we achieve one, it doesn't mean we're finished and we're done. It means that we need to go to the next level, right? And we need to understand, what is it next that I want to achieve? What excites me? I mean, and when you really think about that, that's pretty exciting. What job offers you an opportunity to get excited about what you're doing? Ask people out in the street. They'll tell you nothing about my job gets me excited, right? So we have an exciting opportunity to really live the life we always dreamed of. Maybe we didn't even think we could ever be dreaming of that. But now you're at that opportunity. You can achieve whatever it is you want. So, where's the Eagle managers again? I want you guys to commit that no matter what, your primary focus is always going to be to achieve what? Eagle manager. Okay, you're already there, but that doesn't mean it's over, right? Every year you need to qualify for Eagle manager. Okay? And if you're getting ready to rank up, what does that mean? That means you need to be prepared the following year to do what? To achieve Eagle, that next rank up for Eagle manager, right? So always make sure you are achieving Eagle manager. Don't ever miss that, because you'll be disappointed, won't you? So you got to be prepared. You got to be building your business in a way that you're going to achieve Eagle manager. Those of you that are not Eagle manager, I want you to set a goal today. What do you think that goal's going to be? To be an Eagle, okay? I don't care how far off it is. I don't care if you got to do 15 Eagle manager downlines and you only have 2 right now. And that seems an impossible thing for you to do. Is there anything impossible in forever? No. You can do it. Don't set a barrier on yourself. Don't think I can't do it. Because as soon as you plant something in your head, I can't do that, you're right. You're not going to do it. So you got to change your mentality. And you know what? If it takes you 10 years to get to Eagle manager, will it be worth it? I can tell you it will be worth it. Why? Because every single line you qualify for Eagle manager means your cases are going up. Right? Because if you don't have an Eagle manager downline right now, and they qualify for Eagle manager, it means your cases went up substantially, right? So every time you qualify a line, if you qualify 1 or 2 lines a year for the next 5 years, your income's going to go up. Your sales are going to go up. Your qualifications are going to go up. Your success is going to go up. So why delay? Work on Eagle manager. And what I would recommend is the very first thing you look at is the basic qualifications. Right? What are the basic qualifications for Eagle manager?
Supervisor.
2 supervisors. What else?
100 cc.
100 cc's.
720 cc.
720 case credits, right? So do the basic qualifications yourself, because you have to do that anyway, right? And then start looking at which line can I help this year become an Eagle manager. Will you guys do that? Will you commit to that? If you're talking about setting goals, that's one, in my opinion, one of the most important goals you should have right at the top. Become an Eagle manager. And if it doesn't happen this year, but you're working towards it, I promise you, it's going to help your business grow. And every year you get closer and closer to it. Your business is going to grow. And think about that feeling of achievement when you finally make it. When you work really hard for something and you get it, does it feel good? You're on top of the world, aren't you? That's the feeling we all want. So if you continue to set high goals and you work hard at it, that's the kind of feeling you're going to live with your life, feeling on top of the world. Isn't that a good feeling? I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. When people see the group come, the Eagle Manager group come to the EMR, or they see you guys at like in Dubai with your yellow shirts on, and I mean, you're easily identifiable. Oh, Malaysia, there they are. They look up to you. And I want you guys to keep going forward. I want you to be successful. I don't want you to slow down. But I want you to find a balance. I want you to think about, what do I do that I like, that I have fun at? Besides forever. Can you believe that? I said that. Besides forever. What is it you like to do? Go develop a hobby or something that you like to do, and then really go do it and have fun at it. Because a balance in life is going to help you be a better business owner. Did you realize that? So make sure you have some fun in your life. Because you know what? Aidan and I, we have lots of fun. Did you know that? Do you know what we like to do? What do you think Aidan and I like to do? Eat? Dang. I thought I was looking good. You're right. We do like to eat. We like to ride horses. Does anyone ride horses here? What is that? Jackie, where's Jackie at? He likes to ride horses? All right. Yeah. You'll have to come ride with us one day. Dallas, there you go. So we go out and we ride horses, and you know what I find is when we do that, I find that, sometimes you think, you're away from the business, and a lot of times we're just riding and not thinking about anything, but there always is a moment we think about forever, and something comes to our minds that we could be doing this better, or what about going in this direction? And I find that very inspiring. When you're out having fun and doing things you like to do, you get inspired about your business too. Some people may think, that's a waste of time. You're not selling products or recruiting at that time. But honestly, sometimes that inspiration comes to you and says, I need to be doing this better. I'm going to get back right away and get working on that. And all of a sudden, things start to improve. So have that balance and go out and have fun. Go ride a horse. You'll love it. Come on, say yeehaw. Yeehaw. Oh, I like that. You guys are going to love Dallas. Are you going to be in Dallas? Yeah. All right. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have fun. We're going to be celebrating 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. I love you guys. Thank you very much for all you do. And don't ever look back. Always look forward. You guys are going to be on the top. Thanks. I'll bring them up. So let's keep it going. I'm really happy that we have Aidan here. You guys know Aidan. He's been here before. If there's anyone that has his heart and soul in forever, it's Aidan. Except for he's missing something. Did you guys see that? I'm sorry. I just have to rip you on that one. No, I'm just kidding. Aidan had his pen with him when we started the trip, and now guess what? He doesn't have. Can you believe that someone took his jacket when we were on one of the planes, and when they gave it back to him, he realized later, unfortunately. His pen was gone. So if you see some airline hostess wearing a Forever pin, knock her out, will ya? Ain't no hair!
Hey, thanks, Greg. Thank you. Yeah, she was a short German girl with blonde hair, so if you see her, make sure you tell her. Because I felt terrible all week with no pin. It's the first time for years that I haven't worn a pin. And traveling and seeing all of you guys, every time I get dressed in the morning, I feel naked, so forgive me. It's great to be here in Malaysia. What a beautiful country. And it was great when Greg started to speak and the thunder was going and, it's just fantastic. And you have such a great office here. It's just a great environment. And I love the yellow shirts. CG was just telling me to the back, everyone that walks around Malaysia in a yellow shirt, they know Forever. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I need to be wearing a yellow shirt, huh? No pin, no yellow shirt. Oh, I'm embarrassed, But it's good. So Greg mentioned a lot of good things, and I know that, well, maybe not, but quite often when we travel and people say, oh, Greg's coming or Aidan's coming, they expect something huge or brand new, or they've got the secret sauce. Have you heard that expression? The magic ingredient, the magic bullet. And a lot of people say, well, how can I be successful? What is the secret to success? And our message always is, there is no secret. And people are disappointed for 3 reasons. The first one is they always say I'm shorter than they thought I was. They say I'm fatter than they thought I was. And we have no secret to success. So hopefully we don't leave and you're disappointed, but I don't have any secrets for you. What I have is the basics. So can we go through that together for a few moments? Is that okay? I've got my notes here if you don't mind. I want to stay on that. First of all, what I'd like to just mention is a little bit about what I do in Forever. Is that okay? For the last 12 years or so, I've been responsible for the European region. And when we first started in the European region about 12 years ago, we were doing about 40,000 case credits a month as a total region. And through sticking to the basics, following the basic principles, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, of growth, consistency, and compliance, they got up to about 300,000 cases a month. Now, I have a similar goal here. It's just bigger. I think in Asia or in Southeast Asia, we could do 500,000 cases a month. The potential here, it makes my heart miss a beat. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. If you think that it was easy in England or Germany or Spain or France or Scandinavia, it's the potential you have makes those countries look impossible. Millions and millions of people in a small environment with great community ideals, with great diversity, with great family support. All of these things that make for a great environment to build our business you have here. Right here. We don't have to go all over Malaysia. If you think about your neighbors, I bet you I could go to your house. I could talk to the neighbors on the left and neighbors on the right. And not just you, me, and everyone else as well. And maybe 1 or 2 have heard of Forever. Is that right? And in our minds, we think, okay, I know. I'm going to go all the way to East Malaysia, or all the way to Penang, or all the way to wherever. I'll find someone down there. And I'll fly over 25 million people to get to one person in Penang. Does that make sense? So we'd like you to start to think always that, hey, let's make sure we're using our time effectively. We're leaders together right here today. First thing, effective time use. Is it income-producing activity? So when we're sitting on the bus, or here's a perfect example. I know that you don't have a lot of traffic here. No traffic in KL, right? Yes or no? A lot of traffic, right? So what do? We get in the car, we drive 2 hours to pick up a gel, drive 2 hours home. Why not order it and have them ship it to you? And spend 4 hours working on your business. That's just one idea. You know what I mean? Let's think smart as we go through that. Now, that's talking about the potential that we have here. There's some, and I honestly believe, and I know Greg supports us in this, and CG's been a great help, and We're sorry that we stole CG from you to look after the Southeast Asia. But you guys taught him so well that we wanted to share him with the rest of this area. So thank you for that. And I want to thank CG for his great contribution here, and also wish him the best of luck as he continues to build here and into Southeast Asia. So give him a round of applause because he's such a good guy. And also his better half, Jenny's back there too, hiding. She's doing a great job helping us throughout this area, so we appreciate her as well. So when I started and let me say, I'm just giving you observations, the things that I've seen as I've done my job over, say, the last 12 years. And that's what I want to share really quickly. And we boiled this down to a very simple concept. And can I draw it for you? Is that okay? And it's really, really simple. This is where you're going to go away and think, man, this guy's an idiot. Okay, so I'm not an artist. I don't draw very well. Oh. There we go. There's the secret to success. Do you know what that is? Good. I'm glad you recognize it because I'm a terrible artist. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is we consider this great drawing right here. It's amazing, isn't it? You're going to go home now and say, Aidan O'Hara gave me the secret to success. First thing, growth. I want you to think in your mind or write it down, growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving forward, you're dying. There is no such thing as standing still in any aspect of your life. You have to be moving in one direction. As a human being, we cannot stand still. We're either going forward or we're going backwards or going left or going right in our lives and direction. You have to have, and please write this down, a growth mentality. Growth mentality. Gregg mentioned the 4 key areas, which we call 4 core. Those 4 areas you need to be able to list off the top of your head instantly. Retention, recruitment, productivity, development. You've got to understand and learn those. And we're talking as leaders today. Later on, we're going to do another presentation. It will be different from this. Because we need to ingrain exactly, Gregg gave you all that you need in those areas. So these 4 areas, recruitment, retention, productivity, development. Growth mentality. You have to be looking at those in your business. You have to be looking at the numbers because you know this is a business, right? What is the difference between a business and a hobby? What is a hobby? Huh? What's a hobby? Do you have that word in Malay? Hobby? In Chinese? Hobby? Same? In Chinese? No, I was going to say in Chinese there's no way it's hobby. Do you have a word for in Chinese, hobby? I how? That's a great word. I like that. I how. Difference between business, I how. What's the difference? What's the difference? Business makes you money. A hobby costs you money. There's a difference. Both are fun. Both are enjoyable. Both a great way to spend your time, but a business makes you money, a hobby costs you money. So if my business is costing me money, it's a hobby. How do I change a hobby to a business? I understand the numbers. I wish there was an easy way, but you have to understand your numbers. You have to understand how many people you're recruiting, how much product they're purchasing, how long they're staying in the business, how they're moving through the marketing plan. Gregg identified Eagle Manager, for example, how they're moving through from, supervisor, assistant manager, manager, and onwards through senior soaring sapphire, diamond, sapphire, and onwards. You have to understand that process. You have to understand how it relates to those people. That's what understanding the numbers is all about. So the first thing in a growth mentality is study the numbers. Okay, good question. How do I get the numbers? Where do I get the data? I know someone in this room is thinking, well, I don't have the data. 360, right? Forever 360 is a perfect basis to build your business from. Otherwise, how'd you know? Desmond and Ryder and Ahmed and Grace, so all of us had lunch today. And Desmond showed me some numbers of people that he's got way down in his organization that missed Eagle Manager for a supervisor. Total group volume, 2,000 cases. Missed going, 1 supervisor. To me, that's because you didn't understand the program. Growth mentality. So understand your numbers. Make sure you have access to 360. Make sure you're understanding your numbers. Okay, so it's vital to have a growth mentality. Okay. The other thing in a growth mentality too, and Gregg alluded to this really quickly, is he said, fill your mind with positives. Not only are we growing our business, but we have to continue to grow ourselves. If we're not growing ourselves, we're dying. Like I said, there's no standing still, and that includes the way we feel about ourselves, what we see in the mirror, how we represent ourselves. Are we the type of person that someone wants to hang out with? I remember a really good story. We were in Wales, and this guy was just so happy, and we were whitewater rafting. Have you ever heard of whitewater rafting? You know, when you sit in a rubber boat and you go through the rough water. Have you ever done that? We were doing that, and I thought I was young, and I thought I was really smart, and I was dressed in a nice clothes, and we were just going there, and this young guy comes up, and his hair's a mess, and he's smiling. Hey, what's going on, dude? And all this sort of stuff. And he said, so what do you do? And I said, oh, we sell lifestyles. And he goes, oh, man, that's awesome. You sell them, I live them. So make sure you're living a life which is attractive. Make sure you smile. Can you imagine going to get your haircut? Who gets their haircut? Nobody in Malaysia gets a haircut. That is incredible. We need to bottle that and sell it. Put your hand up. Wake up. Here we go. Get your haircut? See or no? That's amazing. You never had your haircut. You do, because I can tell. And the guy who cut it, I'll get him. Okay, so you're going to get your haircut. It looks something like this. How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. I'm here for a haircut. Awesome. Sit down. So what do you do? I'm a networker for Forever Living. It's fantastic. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. It makes me so happy. Thank you. I get home. I just don't know why no one wants to join my business. I hate Forever Living. Do you recognize any of that? I see it all the time. I see it all the time. People coming up to me and going, Aidan, we don't have, I don't know, some product. We don't have Jinchia. My business won't grow. And in my mind, I'm thinking, really? So make sure you have a growth mentality that you're filling yourself with positive things. I never, ever, ever watch the news. Ever on TV, I never watch the news. In fact, on this entire trip, I haven't turned the television on once in my hotel room. Because there's nothing positive that comes out of that. I watch movies and stuff on my iPad that I choose, but there's nothing that's positive that comes off the TV. Nothing. It's up to you what you do, but that's just one thing. Read good books. Listen to good things. Fill yourself with growth mentality. Okay, the other one was consistency. Do you understand what that word means? Consistency. It is so vitally important in your business. If you want to be successful, you've got to be consistent. And another word that I want to use for consistent is predictable. The first part of consistency is you, as a person, have to be consistent with the product you sell. That doesn't mean you have to be super healthy, super skinny, because look at me. What are you laughing at? I'm going to come over there and, what is it in Chinese, taipanga? Is that what it is? Is that right? Too fat? Huh? It was close though. Taipanga. No? Yes? No? You got to make your mind up. You're saying yes with your head and no with your mouth. Yeah, I met, Keiko Kabuna. She's from Taiwan but lives in Japan. She came up to me and she goes, oh, taipanya, taipanya, taipanya. And I was going, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so nice, so kind. And then my friend comes over, she says you're too fat. So you don't have to be perfect to be consistent with your brand and who you are in forever. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be consistent. There has to be a relationship. And Gregg mentioned it in consumption. You cannot be a forever distributor, a forever business builder, and then you go to your house and you use someone else's product. That is not consistent. You can't talk about meetings and not go. You can't talk about following forever principles and ignore those. You can't read the 11 values downstairs on the wall and decide to do something else. Because, and I'll tell you why, it's the level of competition to succeed in life is too high to be mediocre. Life is too hard for you to be almost. You have to be consistent with the brand, consistent in the things you're saying. The other thing, this is a great one for consistency, is do the thing you said you were going to do long after the emotion you said it in has passed. That's a tough one, right? Do the thing you said you were going to do long after the emotion you said it in has passed. Okay, does that make sense? In this room now, we're superstars. We're the best forever FBOs you can possibly imagine. I am a diamond manager in my heart right now, right? It's easy. We're surrounded by people that believe the same things we do, supportive, like-minded individuals, and that's our commitment and consistency. Yes, we go outside and we shrink a little bit, right? That's because the emotion here is strong and powerful. Outside, when we're alone, it's tough. But that's what consistency is being, is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the emotion you said it in has passed. Another way to look at it is, who are you in the dark? Who are you when no one's watching? That's consistency. And that's one thing I notice about working with Gregg and Rex, is there's a level of consistency always, whether we're riding horses, running on the beach, playing, doing whatever we do, or in a forever meeting, same person. You all know the people that change. And there's always a little piece of you that thinks, not sure about that guy. Same with your customers, same with your FBOs. Be consistent. The other thing about consistency is the way that you manage your business. If you have a meeting on a Tuesday night at a certain venue, be at that meeting every Tuesday night at the right time, at the right place, in the right clothes, saying the right things. Don't change your venues. Don't say, oh, it's going to be Wednesday, it's going to be Tuesday, it's going to be Monday. The same with and make sure your messaging stays consistent. Make sure the presentation stays consistent. Don't change back and forth. You have to stay online and keep it going, keep it going. Give it time to work. Give your groups time to build and understand the consistent message that you're presenting. That's part about consistency. Okay, this is inconsistency is the same as maturity. Maturity has to do that when you're with success. Success is difficult to manage. And each one of you, if you continue to do what you're doing, will be successful and forever. Only you can affect that outcome. If you quit, you won't be successful. If you keep working hard, doing the basics, continue to be consistent and have a growth mentality, at some point you'll be successful. That means you'll have more money than you thought you could earn. Be mature. Be nice to people. Make wise decisions. And like Gregg says, find balance. That's part about consistency. Finally, growth, consistency, compliance. Now, compliance is a twofold thing. And I know the compliance part about following company policy. I understand that. It's vitally important to follow policies. Don't be the type of person that says, I know, whenever we go to a meeting, you hear this a lot, and I'm sure that you've heard it too. They get up. I know I'm not supposed to say this, but. Have you heard that? My leg fell off. I rubbed on some aloe lips. My leg grew back. I'm not supposed to tell you that. Don't be that person, because that will get you and get the company in trouble. The rules are here for a purpose, and that's to keep everyone safe. I managed a company in Turkey. You know Turkey? And this long time ago, 15 plus years ago, I think it was, we got a letter from the Minister of Health in Turkey, aloe vera banned. Monday we could sell, Tuesday we couldn't. Why? Because FBOs were making product claims. Now, thankfully, we managed to work and get the aloe vera back, and we do really well in Turkey now. But it taught me that there is no shortcut. So compliance is follow the rules. Be the type of leader that follows the rules. I know it's frustrating. I know you see other companies making claims everywhere, but that's temporary. This is forever. The authorities are great here in Malaysia. They will get those companies eventually. We see it all the time. A new TV ad pops up. You know, super slimming pill, you lose 50 pounds sleeping at night. You know, you see it all the time. Be patient, be mature, and be compliant. You just got to be aware of that. Now, there's another aspect of compliance, and that is be compliant with your own goals. Gregg talked about setting goals. Part of compliance is you have to comply to that goal. I had a very interesting morning this morning. I get a phone call from my beautiful wife. Yes, somebody was brave enough to marry me. And it's a legal thing now, and she can't leave me because I got her tied up at home. She calls me up, and she says, I'm having a bad day. I said, I'm sorry, babe. What's going on? She said, we have 5 children, and every one of them is freaking crazy. We have a dog that dug a hole in the ground this morning. The guys are doing some work at the house, and they knocked through a wall and burst the gas pipe. And, you know, my wife's she's pregnant, and you know what pregnant women are like. Beautiful. You thought I was going to say something bad, didn't you? She also cries a lot. I don't know. She calls me up and she says, and this is what I was going to tell you about. Personally, we do banking with different accounts, and we budget each account. Every month, she gets a certain amount of money, and that's her money. She calls me this morning and says, I've only got $600 in my account. What am I going to do? I don't know. It's her money. You spent it. Why do I tell you that? Because we have a goal at the end of the year. And the end of the year is we want this amount of money in savings. We made that goal in January. We said we want to have that amount of money in savings. And we sat down and we said, okay, that means I get this much, you get this much every month. We are in May. And she wants to quit the goal. She's crying. This isn't fair. It's stupid. We got the money there. Why didn't you put the money in there? Easy for me to say, okay, no problem. There, you got the money. Is that consistent? Is that compliant? No. Same with your business. You have to be compliant with your goals even when it sucks. Even when it's hard. You have to be. It's really hard to be compliant halfway through the year. One of the things you guys need to do, and all other FBOs around the world need to learn to qualify in October. Every one of you is going for Eagle Manager is different because you have to qualify. What month will that be? February? April? So April, you have to be qualified. Don't qualify for Chairman's Bonus in December. You know, give yourself some time because you are being consistent with the goals that you've set, okay? Make sure there's consistency. Okay, the last thing I've got in consistency, and Gregg identified this real well about dynamic goals. It's really funny. We had this great lunch today, and they were talking about some of the leaders are earning a lot of money, more money than you ever dreamed of. So they start work. You know, just that's one of the biggest issues in Forever that we have is that our marketing plan is so generous that it pays a lot of money, and people earn that money and think, oh, okay, I'm out of this now. I relax. And then they start to slow down a little bit, and then their business goes down, and then they, you know, Gregg mentioned it. So have a dynamic why. Have a why that can change. You know what I mean by why, right? A reason to do the business. And the reason, the why, has to be greater than the obstacles that you face. So financial whys are terrible. They're fun, but they're bad because you will get there. I now starve on money I used to dream of earning. So if my motivation and Gregg's motivation was money, we would have quit. It has to be something greater, something emotionally based, educating your children, seeing others succeed, helping the poor, feeding the sick, whatever it is your motivation has to be greater, and it has to be dynamic. It has to be able to move around and improve as your success level improves with it. Now, there's something missing from this drawing. What is it? The string. Because what is it that holds the kite in the sky? Huh? Is it the wind? No, it's a good question. I'm asking you. I don't know the answer. I'm not a physics. I was terrible in school. I can't even say physics. Never mind spell it. I would spell it with an F. Because the most important piece of this is the string. And you know what's funny is most of us hate the string. Because the string feels like it's holding us back. The string feels like a set of rules or a set of policies or procedures or what we say, terms and conditions apply. Right? I'd like to have you think that actually this string is growth, consistency, and compliance. The more effective this is, the higher you will climb. Because the wind needs your resistance in order to make it climb. So if you want to grow higher and higher and higher, you have to let out a little bit more string with the right amount of resistance. And the right amount of resistance is following the rules. It's understanding how to be a great business owner. And then you will soar. The minute you lose that, let it go, the kite falls down even though it's windy. The wind can be the strongest wind you've ever felt. But unless there's a good growth, consistency, and compliance, it isn't going to fly. This is the greatest opportunity in the world. And this is one of the greatest countries in the world. And I'd invite you to understand and realize that when you go to bed at night, or when you think about how lucky we all are, that we found an opportunity in a vehicle that can change our lives and also the lives of everyone we meet. Thank you very much.